And welcome back once again to Red Blur Gaming. So, previously we have finished off our three, well actually no, it's more than that. It is actually four of our not fire knife, wow, going well today, Sunforged grass suits. We have some grass tufts which will get added shortly. We just have to do some dry brushing on a couple of bits and pieces, so we'll get into that first. Quickly grabbing the dry brush here, which again, we'll get some water into it and then get the water out. And get some of that on to the palette and just try and get this off as light as possible, because we just want to get onto this particular piece, which we have like so. So that fixes that short, sharp little problem. We'll get the water back in there and try and get the colour out of that, out of the dry brush, so that there is nothing left in the system, which there is not. So that can go back up there. And we will quickly grab the glue, which I forgot to close off, the PVA, and we'll pop on a couple of grass tufts. So let's just make sure we get some grass onto some of these bits and pieces. I'll get some more there. And as you can see, grass tufts on, so we're going to push that right out of the way, over onto the other side of the table. A little bit of rearranging, and we'll continue on, because we've got a couple of other actually, when I grab them out of the bag, we've got some more grass tufts, some new ones, which have lovely prices on them, which we all love prices. So we've got a couple more from Gamers Grass, which obviously came from friendly local game store. Ordered them online because they have multiple sites. So we have some blue there, something different. We can have that, and we have some grass with white flowers on it. I thought it might look okay in terms of tacking it onto our models. So we'll get some of this on a couple of these. Let's start with the, whoops, what am I doing? Let's try this blue one. We've got a little bit of PVA glue on there. And we'll get in next to there. We'll try some of these little white flowers and get them on there as well. But again, just some extra basing, just to make things look a little better, a little different. Again, some more of these blue flowers, which we'll get in along the front here, and maybe some of this white grass tuft. Ooh, bugger. And across the back here next to the So there we go, one more there down, and then we're going to go in again with some more of these white flowers, which I actually think are pretty cool. Another one done. So there we go, we've got 4 completed miniatures there with their completed bases. So we'll just quickly wipe off some stuff, and if you can hear some noise in the background, I actually have in the lounge room the Spanish Grand Prix running, which Q1 is currently on at the moment, so that's what's loud and going on. So let's get some more of this snow on. Oops. Get some of this on there, because this is getting this done on these models rather quickly and whatnot is actually kind of helpful, because as I said, we're getting through a little further with stuff that's finished, completed, and I'm actually glad to be able to take stuff off the table in terms of it being finished, and I don't have to stress as much about what's next, what's on the table. So currently, just let's finish off a few of these. The goal is to finish off these current batch of crisis suits before we move into the next lot. And as you can see, over the background there, just try and get a little bit more on, and we'll say done. So that solves that problem. I will be able to probably put some white on those ones again as well that are out there in the background, with the goal of the next 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes of this video is getting the point where I can have them based. So let's switch into finding the dry brush again, so we can dry brush all of that black with some silver, which is actually just here. So with the Necron compound out, and try and get as much of the water out of it as possible. And we'll bring the which this is a in front of me. I'll put down there is what's called a texture palette. So the point of it is to provide texture in terms of getting the it's still a bit wet, to be honest, which is probably going to make it a little bit more interesting in terms of, that might be better. And then I think I may have got what I was after within looking at that that actual so we get some more on this brush, and we'll another one down, and then we're on to our last one, which is actually bless me, sorry guys. But as you can see, we are, whoops, it's a lot of, not quite anticipating how much I wanted that, but we'll get all this on here, rotate this around, and I know I've tried something different. I'm actually not too unhappy with it because it's kind of come out slightly shiny. So as you can see, I have done the dry brushing now on those three models. I'll quickly find my white, which what are we going to use? White Scar, I suppose. Got a nice shake. You can hear it in the background. Sounds like I'm jacking it. No, I shouldn't say that. It's not very appropriate. And then we're going to go in and try and find a super fine brush. One that isn't, as we would say, let's run the... let's go with that one. We do need to whack. That can stay in there. Some brushes back in there to try and get them all controlled again, and we'll just get some water on this brush and find some glasses, which I have some to help me bring up the size of the little iris I'm about to paint, make it a little easier. So spin him around slightly so that I can get in there. The single iris will get painted in the three models' heads. Not going after the little ones, it's just the one. 2, and last one. Spin him around in my hand. And just there we go. The 3 of those are at least sorted to that point in time. And as I said, I can actually get in now, and I might actually take the, which I got it intentionally, which you can't see where it went now. No, it wasn't the Corax. Or was it? It was the Corax. The Corax is a... Sorry. That's what I was after. Grey Seer. I got some Grey Seer intentionally so that I could get in to the bottoms of these where I've just crossed over and painted the feet of the tail of the crisis suits, just to try and darken up this section, so when I put the snow stuff down, it's not going to show through as deep or as brightly as the black normally does from where I've blue tacked the miniature down and then run over it with and sprayed over it. And obviously there's a light spot when I go to glue them down where the primer doesn't hit because of gluing them down. So we're just quickly getting some of this touched up so that it's a little darker when I go in to add that add that basing material on. Excuse the slow, slurred speech because I'm just trying to get that grey in without actually really hitting any of the... We've just done slightly there by the looks of it, any of the actual part of the model with the grey, but to be honest, the white snow stuff will actually help quite massively with blocking out all that. So yeah, so we're just getting this sorted out so that it's a little less painful in terms of the black, and like having to double down on getting that snow basing down, which is a touch painful, but as we can see, this will one to go, and that will actually be the end of, well, that'll be the end of this video, and that'll be the end of me for the night, I think. I'm going to go and watch this qualifying, which I've been hanging out for. You can hear they're in Q2, it's really Q3 I'm interested in to see who goes where, what kind of expectations there will be for tomorrow night's race. Which, depending on when this gets out, the race may have already been run. So usually I'm filming 2 to 3 videos on a Saturday night while qualifying's on. I'll post them up throughout the week, and usually stuff's already happened. So hopefully Q3 was good, and then hopefully from there out, I need to clean off. Fuck. Fuck's sake. Next. Jesus. Alright. Alright, so that's all the bits fixed, finished, sorted out. So again, that went for a lot longer than I anticipated, which is probably a good thing. Means we've got a nice longish video for once. And the last thing that really needs to happen in this video is, if we can get it done, what I want to do is, if this is dry enough, oh, am I happy or what? We've gotten the right colour selected. This contrast bale red, which is really for, Blood Angels colours, to be honest. For painting contrast for Blood Angels, that red is just gorgeous and has come through really strongly on the white, which is what I was after. I probably won't need a second coat, but that is done. That is finished. As I said, eventually we're going to have to dry brush the Commander. Wait for this to dry. I'll be able to do the white snow flock on that. I'll be able to paint this base rim, and then that will be, that'll be a total of 9 completed once these guys have had their base snow done tomorrow and dried, and the rim, that'll be 9 crisis suits completed. But as per normal, if you like what I do, hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me how you're going. I do have Facebook and Instagram. I will eventually hopefully be able to link the 3 together so that my videos appear on multiple locations and people will be able to find it easy. But yeah, thanks very much guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.